Okay, boys and girls, your art lesson is based on the story The Dot by Peter Reynolds. Now, if you remember in the story, one of the dots that Vasti actually painted, she made it by not even painting the dot. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're actually going to make a negative space using a tracer first. So this is what you're going to do. Get your a sheet of white paper. Make sure your name is on the back, boys and girls. Then I'm going to give you a lid. Set it as center as you can in the middle of your paper, using one hand to secure it and the other hand to trace around. If you're having difficulty, always turn to your shoulder partner and ask them to give you a helping hand to trace the shape. Okay, so you're doing it very lightly with a pencil round that circle. Then remove the lid, set it aside, pass it on to your shoulder partner if they haven't got one. Now you're all going to get a selection of paints and a water pot. And what we're going to do is, just like the image in the book, we're not going to paint the center, but we're going to make dots around that. But before we do that, we're actually going to use a technique called resist. So you're going to also get some oil pastels, and around the paper I'm going to draw some dots. I'm going to use my best circular movement with my hand and make all different sizes and all different colors. Alright, doesn't mean I have to color the whole center in. You can see that I've left kind of the centers still white, because what we're going to use is watercolors, and watercolors and oil pastels, they don't mix. The oil pastel resists the watercolor paint, and so these colors will still come through. So you see, while I've still got, I'm going to do a little tiny one there, I'm going around with the color that I've got in my hand. I'm going to do some more down here. Could use a lovely vibrant green, make a big one. And you see how I'm doing it? I'm just going round and round, and they kind of start off like a spiral, but I go round and round and round, and I get this pretty good circle or a dot. Okay, and I make some small dots, and you see that I haven't overlapped any of them either. I've just kept them with a gap in between. And let me just add one more colour, and you boys and girls can add in whatever colours that you like. And tell a lie, I'm actually going to add in one more colour so that you can see what happens with this. I'm actually going to take a white oil pastel, and you're going to say, why is she using white on white? We can't see it, but you'll see when I paint over it, it's actually going to come through, because again, if you remember, this technique is resist. The watercolors will not go through the oil pastel. The oil pastel actually jumps out. You'll see it when you brush it on yourselves. Now, I'm going to get my brush. I've got my watercolors, and remember, we're not painting the dot inside, but I'm going to kind of dot around the edge first, just to keep it all in there. Okay, when I want to change my color, make sure that you wet your brush, soak it, and do the hand test. Make sure that the water has cleaned your brush. If not, you need to change your water out. I'm going to change the paint around there, and I'm going to make sure my brush is clean. Go back to this, and I'm going to, now you see what I'm doing, I'm going to go dot 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 dot. I'm not doing just one colour, I'm doing lots of colours, so that I'm really making it interesting, exciting. Okay, now I'm going to continue with that, boys and girls, but now it's your turn. What you have to remember is the procedural steps: name on the back, trace the shape in the center with a pencil very lightly, then use oil pastels and create your own dots in different sizes, and you can also use the wide as well. And then using watercolors, you're going to dab and dot and fill the whole page up with the exceptions of this center dot. Okay, so it's going to be a very similar painting to what Vasti did in the story, the dot. Okay, boys and girls, now it's your turn. Let's go make some art.